So I'm Marilyn Elphick, and I was the Director of Campus Ministry at the University of Toronto, University of St. Michael's College from 2002 to 2015. So I first entered QR through Ralph, who kept inviting me to come to the meetings that he was having at Knox College. And I resisted for a very long time because I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and he kept telling me, Marilyn, there's a lot of gay students, gay Catholic students, that I really think you need to be there. So I attended my first meeting, and it was very powerful. The students that were there, who were very suspicious of me, they said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I'm here to let you know that I'm here to support you." And one student, and this really affected me, one student said, "Well, I have to be honest, if I needed to talk to somebody, yours is the last office that I would go to." And that statement changed my life, because I resolved in that moment that nobody would ever say they didn't feel welcome in my office. So I resolved to change it. Most definitely I knew where the feeling was because of Catholicism. I could tell that there was this pain there. I could very clearly see that. I said to them, "Well, would you come over to St. Mike's if you were invited?" And they said, "Well," and I said, "Well, I'll feed you." And I was really quite shocked because the first meeting, there was 25 people there, which really holds with my philosophy of if you feed them, they will come. But it was the idea that they would be welcomed. To me, it was one of the highlights of my career there. I guess one, and this sounds really little, but it was my dream that people would be able to just walk in the office and do what everybody else did. Use the microwave, have a coffee. And the first day that happened, somebody walked in from the Queer and Religion group and said, "Oh, I'm just coming in to use your microwave." And I thought, okay, we've done something. And it's those little things that you sit there and go, we're doing something right. My intention was to create a place of welcome, a homey place. So first of all, I'd always had candy in the office, okay, and people would always eat the candy, which was good, but it would bring them into the office, kind of bribery, but anyway, they came in. There was usually some kind of music playing, microwave. We had, I would make tea for people. It was just this creating this home atmosphere. Well, we laughed a lot. People needed to laugh, and I wanted to create an environment where people would feel like family. When I first started there, some people had never had a Sunday dinner. Food was a major thing in the office. People always knew that they could come there. If they were hungry, they would always get something to eat, because students are poor. People didn't understand that students are poor, that they don't have food. So that's why when we had even our QR dinners, I knew people came there and they hadn't eaten. And I always ordered extra so that they could go and take stuff home. Okay? The atmosphere is about feeding. You're not only feeding their bodies, you're feeding their soul. When Jesus was preaching on Mount of Beatitudes, he was giving the Beatitudes, before he even taught, he said, "Look at those people. They're hungry. Give them something to eat." And then we get the miracle of the loaves and the fishes. Well, you can't expect people to absorb anything if they're hungry. So that was the kind of atmosphere I tried to create. So they did a restructuring. The administration at the University of St. Michael's College. And that's how the departure came about. It was pretty devastating because I worked very hard to create a ministry that I thought was extremely inclusive. That's sort of my claim to fame, inclusivity, I think. So to have that removed was extremely painful. And it took a lot of prayer, reflection, and rest to heal from that, because the work stopped. So that's kind of hard to deal with. I missed my work, I can tell you that. I missed the QR group. I missed the students so much, because they were part of my life for a long time, right? But I've had so many gifts since then. So with them saying, you were my mentor, you taught me this, I didn't forget that, all that kind of thing. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But yeah, no, it's not okay. But I'm okay. You may not ever see the fruits of your labor. You may never see it. So when I had the privilege of seeing the fruits of my labor, I was very touched. But I wasn't doing it to get the credit. That's not what I was doing it for. I really do believe that I was doing it because that's what I was called to do, especially with QR. That was a call that I had to answer. See, I believe in hospitality and generosity. And I think you do those two things, it's love, And I think that's what I try to embody. And that's what I learned also from the QR group, hospitality and generosity. So I'll always take that with me.